Welcome to Minecraft. This is actually insane and I should just quit now. To win Stoneblock 4, I have to master Autocrafting, suffer through Mekanism, again, rebuild a world engine, create like 1,000 patterns, and beat every optional quest. Well, I best get started then. It apparently all starts with a B. I'll break some stone. I have pebble. I need many pebble. With enough, I can craft hammer. Now I can just straight up mine the cobblestone. I can break cobblestone into gravel and gravel into dirt. If you thought I was gonna say sand, you should probably subscribe. Cobble becomes sticks. Sticks become crook. Crooking dirt is going to be my source of saplings. I'll plant some saplings and twigs to convince them to grow. I can use some planks to make some wooden shears, which of course lets me harvest up some leaves. The loot bee gave me coal, which I will use to make a campfire. I'll use it to cook some leaves. Well, I guess I would be drying them out, right? Then if I cook those dry leaves, I get a teeny tiny amount of straw. I'll use that to create the first of what's gonna be 1,000 crude brushes. And I'm not even joking. Up next, a furnace. With 3 stone, I can make a stone hammer. A different one. This breaks a 3x3 area, so now I am in for a real treat. Cobble to gravel, gravel to dirt, dirt to sand, and sand to dust. Sand is where I now need to start using that crude brush to start looking for some new items. 4 clay. Smelt that down, but I'm gonna need some more. Another 4. That might just do it. 1 bonsai pot, please. This is my source of wood going forward. Well, until this axe runs out of durability. So, brushing dirt is my source of seeds, but I did not get the seed I was after, so once again I shall make some more dirt. Yay, grass seed! It feels like home already. I feel like I can probably use a hopper on this bonsai pot. Yeah, I can. Incredible. Up next, I'm gonna make a wooden basin and pop it down. I'll pop a leaf on top, and I'll use some gentle persuasion to force some water out of it. Sounds wet. But having reached as far as I can in the quest book, I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do next, or how to even unlock any more quests. Surely I don't have enough knowledge yet to tackle some of these insane quests. I'm gonna have to click through some menus to find out. I'll see you soon. Okay, so I found a room. Hidden and greyed out at the very top of the quests is a landing page that I just didn't land on. There are chat commands to move around. I never would have guessed that. This is Spawn. This is where I get more quests. Hello, Echo of Projection. I talked to him and he has unlocked the next part of my first chapter. I'm gonna need an iron hammer. Okay, so how on earth do I get home? Maybe it's the portal from when I created the world? Yay, I'm home. A much more depressing place to be. Cobble to gravel. Gravel's gonna be the next one to be brushed. 8 iron clumps turn into 2 iron clusters, so 2 iron ingots. Well, it's enough for an iron hammer so I can at least progress a little bit. Doing so has increased my unearth level to number 2, which means I can now find new items inside of what I brush. Let's see what's inside of dust. Redstone, gold, tin, and bone meal. I have now been tasked with following this compass to a healing spring in the north. That's actually kind of great because it is going to give me a ton of cobblestone. Mother, I'm here. Amethyst shards, you're coming home with me. But I need more iron, gold, and of course redstone. Here's what I'm going to need to do to reach my first checkpoint. I'll need to make a chronon generator. I'll get my first worker to automatically brush blocks for me. I'll automate sand, dust, and dirt. I'll need to do some basic Ars Nouveau, and I'll dive into early game Just Dire things. Really shouldn't be that much work. Like, that's everything for the Chronon generator. Nice and easy. I'll send that to the quest book and I'll be rewarded a dreadful dirt. A new Chronon generator. I have also unlocked the world engine. Oh, and I'm also given an action pad, which is going to be my teleporter instead of having to use chat commands. Like, now I can just go to spawn super easily. Hello, guidance. I have completed that stage. I have now got to go and make a worker token from a zombie villager. I guess I can just use this one dreadful dirt to convince some mobs to spawn. Yoink! Now if I were to place him in the healing spring, he'll start to convert to a normal villager. However, to make the tool to tokenize him, I am going to need leather, or more specifically some more rotten flesh to turn it into leather. Iron stick and necklace, that's the echo encoder. Also, this is the world engine. More on this later, like much more on this. I can boot the villager into a token. It sounds harsh, and that's because it kind of is. And after a little micro crafting, I can make up some unearthers. Now, how on earth do I put my friend inside? Oh, he needs a job first. This one could be a potter. Success! So if I were to give him some dust, yes, he will absolutely start brushing it for me. Nice. So sand, dirt and gravel. I'm gonna need to capture 2 more villagers. And I of course need to work out how to actually automate them. If I talk to the guidance echo, I'll then unlock 3 brand new echoes to talk to. I just need to find them. This is the magician, which looks like Ars Nouveau, and the machinist, which will give me a gift, and it looks to be based on the create mod. Oh, I'm gonna use this entropy manipulator to make lava. I'm very smart. But I can't for the life of me find the 3rd guy, and the map is not helpful at all. The quartermaster, finally. Mekanism and power tasks. I am so excited for that. Alright, so I've time jumped a little bit here. I've worked out how I'm gonna automate my friends. Sort of. One quest reward was these Oritech item pipes, which kind of behave a little bit like the pipes mod. One thing I am stuck on though is how to automate the crude brushes, since they do break quite quickly. I think I might just need to bulk craft them every now and then. The main star of the show is these auto hammers and cobble generators. It's a little bit expensive right now, but as more and more is automated, the cheaper they will get. This is the plan. I'll have a pipe first with a buffer drawer on that. So next is the hammer, and then the cobble generator. In theory, that is now automated gravel and gravel brushing. For sand, it will be 3 auto hammers, then the generator. Dust needs 4 hammers and a generator. I could scale it up to make the blocks faster, but these fellas in here are quite slow, so this is completely fine. I even fed them and they're still slow. It's like they don't want to be doing this. But it is faster than me doing it, so that is a win. Oh, and you know me by now. As soon as I get potatoes, baked potato becomes my forever food. Overall, the system is working great. The last fella is waiting for dirt, which is just kind of me procrastinating on making more of the hammers. I should probably get to work. I took a little break to get through some jobs, and the first thing you'll notice is I've made a small manual sugarcane farm. Both sugar and paper are used for a few crafts. The next thing you'll notice is my floorage. Floor storage. It feels very wrong to be able to lay drawers down like this, but I kinda love it at the same time. To keep it simple, I've just got a bunch of Oritech pipes running underneath to each of the drawers, since storage controllers aren't exactly a thing yet. I'm actually having a bit of fun with this. It's so much better than using autosieves. Oh hey look, furnaces can be made emeralds, making them super fast. Early game ingots are no longer an issue. It meant I could dive right in with a diamond quack quack, giving me lots of adventuring space. Lastly, I automated dirt, meaning I have copious amounts of andesite and diorite now. Now let me talk about brushes, the content you have all been waiting for. I kind of hated making them because I had to sit and watch leaves cook. Not anymore, because I am a genius Minecraft player. Hello chickens. Step 1, bone meal grass. Step 2, hit grass with a pointy thing. Step 3, profit. Instant straw. You love to see it. Right, let's grow a purple tree. I'm sure this hole is going to be big enough. Thanking you. I'll turn those into planks and then into an imbuement chamber. This turns lapis into source stone. It's slow. So, a pusher upgrade to push lapis, a puller upgrade to pull source stone. Automated. Easy. What do you mean there's a hidden quest before I can complete this one? Why show it to me then? Oh, it's you. I must talk to you first. I'm sure I'll get the hang of this. Maybe? I'll craft up an agronomic source link and plug it into my mini farm. Then finally at the world engine I can craft up the Dominion wand. Sir, I have completed your quests. Oh, there's a shop! That explains the currency. Cool. I'm going to buy a storage controller from the quartermaster, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll buy some elevators as well, I might need them, I might. Lastly, I am gonna auto build the source upgrade for the world engine with 2 source blocks. I don't think that worked. I'll be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing here and I'm kinda loving it. Okay, I can just cheese source generation. That's too easy. Even better, I can now craft an auto-feeding upgrade for the backpack. Feed me potatoes, please. So I guess next I should tackle some metal alloying. Zinc plus copper will give me brass, and that is a real easy create mod progression bypass right there. Yeah, I'm not ready to do that yet. Maybe later. Instead, welcome to Mekanism. Because of course. For power, I will use the RF Tools coal generator. Next, I'll need to craft some dielectric paste, which I'll microcraft into some dielectric casings. Hello, Quartermaster. Stage complete. Back at the infuser, I'll throw coal and iron in. This is my first piece of enriched iron. That then goes back into the infuser with coal to make steel dust. That can be smelted, and that is the first of very many steel ingots. I can combine 3 of them with my hammer to make a single steel plate. Terrible ratio. I guess I do need create or maybe immersive engineering. We'll see. I am thinking probably create though, as that's not actually going to require any power. Okay, so I think that is most of the early game resources sorted now. The biggest change is this new room where I skipped through recording some of the create content. Making plates at a 1:1 ratio was kind of worth the effort. Also a roller so I can make electrum wire with ease. I'm gonna need that soon. Since I've got all of my chunks going into a compacting drawer, they're pretty much ready for smelting. I hooked them all up to the controller I bought, and I have the furnace pull out those chunks for auto smelting. My problem is I am making chunks faster than I can smelt them, so I really need to scale it up. To finish it all though, I have got those ingots being sent into a wall over here for easy storage. But I kind of have a create mod, right? I mean, it's easy bulk smelting. I'm just gonna need a brass funnel so I can filter what it pulls out. So that needs electron tubes, which in turn need quartz. Something I don't have access to yet. I guess I'm gonna need to push some progression some more for that. So I'll make up some steel mechanical components and head over to the world engine. I'll give it some power via this charged energy cube, and if I throw in enough resources for 4 crafts, it'll make 64 world engine machine blocks. I'll speak with the quartermaster and then auto build the upgrade. Oh cool, it's got camera animations. Lastly, I will speak to guidance to unlock chapter 2, Horizon. Mekanism, Apotheosis, and a Chronon Vault. Sounds exciting. I mean, there's still the create stuff to do later, but thankfully it will let me move on without doing it. For now, Primordial Goo. This will be my first time ever using this mod. It's very exciting. I'll surround it with iron blocks and feed it some sugar, where it's now going to, I guess, infect the iron. While that does its thing, it is time for a new checklist. To reach my next checkpoint, I'll need to set up some bulk smelting for all of my chunks, create the Mekanism alloys, work out how to heat the world engine, and play with portal guns to steal the Chronon Star from the vault. I'm sure it'll be fine. Raw ferrite ore, thanks very much. That smelts down into ingots, but I've realised I need to talk to the Echoes to actually start their quests. The Fabricator, who sells the water generator upgrade for fluid drawers, it might actually be useful. The Wayfinder, and the Enchanter. This quest gives me a compass, so it looks like I need to dig a tunnel soon to see where it leads. Or maybe now. Let me dig something out. Well, that was effortless and kind of fun. On my travels, I found some of these teleporters. I'm not sure what they do yet, but I'm sure it's going to be useful one day. Anyways, I'm not quite where I need to be just yet, so I'm gonna keep on going. This World Breaker quest reward is fantastic. I reached Endstone and I'm still not there yet. I backtracked a little bit because I spotted an area on the map. I have found soul sand, which in theory should be infinite quartz and infinite more soul sand, since the create mod is here. I apologize it's so dark, I may have run out of torches. That's enough, let me get home and see what I can do. It turns out what I can do is steal a piglin from the nether ring and force feed him some gold. I'm accidentally a genius because not only am I getting obsidian, I am getting leather, nether wart and quartz, ender pearls and more. I keep getting jump scared by fake creepers. And John Cena, he caught me so off guard I almost bit my tongue. If you know, you know. So I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit because no name tag means despawn. I will see you soon. Well, that was a nice little break, let's get back to it. I have set up the bulk smelter using Create Connected. I really like this catalyst block as it is a one block solution. The easiest way to hold the chunks until they're smelted is a filtered tunnel. Things are going very well. This will keep me going a while. I've got a similar system here haunting sand into soul sand for brushing. It's allowed to be an ugly design because I am not going to need it forever. In other news, I have also set up some basic mechanism. That's some reinforced alloys. I'll also need enriched obsidian and altogether an atomic alloy. The first one I'm going to use to make some thermodynamic pipes and complete that quest. So I need Invar next. You know, I am really struggling with working out what Ingot is what without it actually telling me in the information panel above. Tin? Nope. Silver? Nope. Osmium? Nope. Nickel? Finally! They all look the same. This tooltip config is not useful. Get them alloying and then craft some magnetic coils. Pop them into the world engine to make a superheating element. Yay, progress. I'll craft it into a resistive heater. This is now gonna somehow send heat into the world engine. The quest suggests 2000 Fe per tick, but as expected, that's gonna blow through my limited power. Either way, I will talk to the fabricator and finish his quest line. It's kinda sad that we're never gonna return to these echoes later on. It's like a quick quest line and I'm done with them forever. Oh well, I have followed a new compass and I am now at some kind of vault. Oh my god, it's Portal! I love Portal! I once stayed up until 4 AM on a school night a long time ago, and I completed Portal 1 in one sitting. Right, so how does this portal gun work? Oh, it's like a temp pad, awesome. Boop. Congratulations! It seems like you know how to press a button. Haha, test cube. One would assume that these go on the gold blocks. They do. Room number 2. A sneaky little stair gap here, a sneaky little stair gap there. And that is the companion cube. Zoop on over to the raised platform here, and then over to that one there. The cube is happy. Back to the middle platform, through the stair gap, and onto room number 3. This is fun. Boop, jump, fail. Oh, the cube is down here. But it's unbreakable. Huh? Yeah, okay, so let's fast forward through this a little bit here because I missed one big piece of information, something that you're able to do. Oh my god. You can pick them up with your portal gun. I am so dense sometimes. Portal the gap, cube in the gap, and it's on to the next section. What on earth is this? Whoa, it's bouncy. Like, really bouncy. Button press, cheese into this piston, boop the button. Portal over gap, where's the cube in this one? Oh, the door is open? Maybe pressing buttons worked. Room 4, yay! Ah, a beetle! Ah, Mum, help, he's got me! Let go, naughty! Maybe it's a distraction. It was. I'm free! Boop, crouch, secret stairs, boop, under the bars, button, sneaky stairs, back to the start, and launch to the stars. Room 5, the final challenge. Honestly, This one I cannot explain to you. I made an intense amount of mistakes and this guide is just not possible. But the idea is, you parkour and press buttons to release these cores. They go into the incinerator, which you then enable in the test pods to destroy those cores. One hint I will give you is, there's a secret trapdoor here. That took me nearly 25 minutes of searching to find out. Once you get in, make sure you have the companion cube. I did not. And then, I fell all the way down to ground level. Eventually, you destroy the cores and get the Chronotron star. That was so much work. Overall, an enjoyable time playing Minecraft. That goes into the world engine with some other bits, and 40 seconds later out pops 64 Chronotron glass and a depleted star. After a quick chat with the Wayfinder, that is another questline complete. I'll take a moment to buy an Echo Shard, that way I can avoid the deep dark a little bit longer. I can add those Chronotron glass to the world engine, and that's another upgrade complete. If I talk to guidance, I can unlock Chapter 3, Solaris. Very exciting. You know what that means. Hobble gets lost looking for 3 more echoes. The Lightbender, which wants Fortron ingots from another vault. The Catalyst, which looks to be the power mod. And the Inferno, which is a boss fight in an Inferno vault. Sounds chaotic. Obsidian generator upgrade? Yes, please. Ooh, and lava too. Thank you very much. That's now slow but infinite of both. And considering I don't really need it right now, they should fill up pretty quick. That is a checkpoint reached. To reach my next checkpoint, I will need to start generating resources with chickens, unlock the Dimensionalist Worker. It is only 2 things this time, but one is gonna take me all day. Let's go! I found a nether dungeon. This was not on my list, but I could smell the free loot. The chests here have a little mini game, and I kind of suck at it at the moment. No, don't spit that way, that's naughty. Basically, the idea is, if you are great at the minigame, you get better loot. But I suppose, while I'm here, I could farm some blaze rods, since I will be needing those for the temporal pouch. I'm on fire now. I can also use some lockpicks I bought to instantly open the chests, but I'm not really sure if it's worth it. Maybe for the red difficulty ones. Big step. I always forget that exists. Red chest. Yeah, that wasn't really worth a lockpick. Good to know, I guess. Well, that was a nice side tangent, but I best get back to work. So, chickens. I'll convert them to an item with a chicken stick, which is a completely normal sentence to say. Then I'm gonna need a whole bunch of roosts probably, and a soul extractor. Inside the extractor, I will put in one of the basic chickens, and that will give me a tier 1 chicken soul. That'll let me make a tier 1 chicken seed. The best part is I can now speedy grow more of them, so I only ever need to do the full tedious craft once. That's a lava chicken. There will be no reference to the Minecraft movie here. Wait, no, does that count? Quick, soul extractor before they notice. That's a tier 2 chicken soul because it was a tier 2 chicken. The math checks out. Right away, I can turn that into a tier 2 chicken seed. And you see where this is going, right? You grow the seed, make more chickens, make more souls, make more seeds, and so on. Eventually you hit tier 4 and you kind of hit a progression wall. Oh yeah, and there's a lot of breeding to it. Lots of it. I've got a room down at the end now that'll eventually become my chicken room. For now, it is just empty nests and seeds of different tiers as a backup supply. For making tier 4 seeds, I am going to need mending neurogel. To make that, I'm going to need some cognitive crystals, astute assemblies, accelerators, and a molecular metamorpher. I can store my player experience in an experience obelisk and bind that to the metamorpher. A primordial assembly acquired to make a bibliophage, which I can use to infect bookshelves. None of these words are making any sense to me. Maybe it'll spread to other bookshelves nearby. It's do, that's good. Anyhoozle, I can now craft a calcerine matrix and a fluorescent jelly, which will combine into some mending neurogel. 1 tier 4 chicken seed. Many tier 4 chicken seeds. I guess I can now continue making some more chickens. I'll see you soon. Alrighty, so over at the World Engine, I am going to throw in some amethyst blocks and craft some flawless budding Certus. I can place them down and speed grow them, and ultimine them to break them all at once. They can go into a charger, but that's boring. Hoppers make it so much easier to do. I love the new AE2. Charred Certus, redstone and quartz into a puzzle, that's Fluix crystals. Some get crushed and then combined to make a Fluix pill. Now we need to haunt some lapis into prismarine shards so I can make up a bunch of dimensional shards. Oh yeah, and glass textures do keep on breaking. It's very weird. But finally I can craft a tier 5 chicken seed, and I am kind of exhausted by all of this microcrafting. I guess it is nice that I have a Certus quartz chicken now. I'll make up some resonance engineering blocks. Now if I throw some potatoes and a worker token into the World Engine, it'll give me 2 in return. Legalize cloning. But that engineering block is my last workstation, which is gonna unlock the dimensional list for netherrack and other stone. And maybe endstone, I'm not sure. I just need a tiny bit more space. Now I just need to go and let him level up a bit. Okay, so I got distracted and I automated the chicken seeds with garden cloches. I bought the Super Factory Manager water tank from the shop, which is basically an aqueous accumulator. Of course, everything is still being powered by coal generators. I really should fix that soon. But with those ticked off, I can now work on reaching my next checkpoint. I will need to locate and beat the Create Vault, start using the Replication mod, and complete the Enchanter's questline for Apotheosis. It really shouldn't be that bad, so let's get to it. Well, first let me show you my mess. Inside this lava, I have got some Mekanism heat generators, altogether producing around 200 Fe per tick. Down the end here, I have got my 2-dimensionalists. Unexpectedly, I now have a source of blaze powder and netherite scrap. Other stone is giving me raw replica, which is from a mighty handy little mod. More from that soon. For now, I am going to craft up a circuit fabricator controller in the World Engine. I'll need some blue sheet metal. Okay, no, so I kinda need to finish off the machinist quest, just so I can keep going with this. Dang it. Okay, obsidian plates. Fine. Nom 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 obsidian plates. Now I can make some void chassis and an alloy smelter. Any capacitor will do. And I can make up some dark steel ingots. Next, it seems I have got another vault to do. A create vault. It's easy to find when they just give you a compass. Tin valve handles to allow fluid to flow through pipes. Gotcha. Same again in room 2. In room 3, I am tasked with finding a 3-digit combination out of 20 possible combinations. It's only a yellow chest, I'm not really that bothered. Wrenches change directions, of course. I'll kill a wither skeleton for his sword, simple enough. And now, parkour. I'm not going to show you everything this time, since it's kind of more fun if you do want to go and try it out for yourself. There's a part with snowballs, a block memory game, a swimming bit, and success. Shadow steel acquired. It was fun, but it's kind of pointed out how bad my object permanence is. The machinist quest is complete. That means I can apply the shadow casing world engine upgrade. Nice. And it meant that I could buy the mysterious cube and build the circuit fabricator from earlier. This is what I'm going to be using to make both refined storage and applied energistics processors. And the silicon, I'll be getting that from a chicken. It looks like I can only use refined storage for now, so let me go and set that up. It's simple, it works. That's all I can ask. I've hooked up all the draw controllers, so at least I can now easily find the ingots for crafting. I've also got wireless access, but without wireless charging, this thing runs out of power pretty damn quick. I also went ahead and set up endstone brushing, so I can go and get a head start on draconium. Like the netherrack, endstone isn't automated, it's just what I've got left over from mining. I still haven't been able to automate the brushes, but I'm thinking with chickens, I'm probably not going to need the system for much longer, which is a shame because it's a pretty cool idea. I tried to work out the chicken auto feeding, but right now I'm not sure how to not overfill it with just one seed type. Maybe a regulator upgrade. Manually filling the feeder has gotten me a decent amount of bits. Moving on, Over at the World Engine, I would like to make a replicator, please. Thank you very much. I'll also need a Philosopher's Stone, so I can wake up and make dark matter. And it looks like this is what I'm going to be building. Wish me luck. Now, if I throw dark matter into the disintegrator, it is going to give me a good chunk of each of the essences. Then I can, for example, teach this memory chip the recipe for platinum ingots. That goes into the chip's storage, and now providing I have the right amount of that type of essence, I can print as many of these ingots as I want. It's Project E with more steps, which overall could be better. I have taught a whole bunch of recipes, and I am over the moon that Mekanism things have got a matter value. It's incredible. The more annoying things to craft can now just be printed. I kinda love it. I've got 2 of the replicators, but I think when I move to my final base location, I'm gonna want like 64 of them. As for auto-feeding the chickens, the regulator upgrade was definitely the way to go. Inside, you just tell it to keep 64 in the attached inventory, and it'll work its magic. Moving on, I am going to make up some hell shelves to do some weird enchanting. This is what I will use to surround my enchanting table. That has given me 45 Eterna, so I can start enchanting more of the hell shelves. And after upgrading most of them, I am now out of experience. I need a mob farm. Thankfully, there is mob grinding utilities, so it really shouldn't take that long. The enchanter sells GM chicken feed, which I can then feed to a chicken. Use the egg on some dirt, turn on the fans, and it mostly works. I'm picking up items and experience with an absorption hopper, and I can now do some AFK while the tools work their magic. I'll see you later. Yeah, okay, so I set all of that up, and I forgot that there's just an experience chicken. Ah well, it is good to have options. One cool thing is now I can turn 1 echo shard into 4 of them. So no deep dark and no expensive shopping. After some more enchanting of different bookshelves, I can now complete the enchanter's questline. It means I can now add in the enchanting upgrade, presumably unlocking even more crafts. I know I sorta just rushed through it, but it is a pretty default experience. But that is 100% of tier 1 and tier 2 completed, and a checkpoint complete. I'm smashing this. To reach my next checkpoint, I will need to defeat the Lightbender's maze, build my first quantum ring, unlock creative flight, develop a reasonable power source, and I'll need to unlock the tier 4 quest lines. I think that'll get me to around mid-game, so let's go! Welcome to the Lightbender's maze. In here, I need to toggle on and off buttons to unlock force fields, like this one. And this one. Also, I'm not alone in here, but eventually you complete the maze and get the Fortron infused blocks. I can craft up a coercion deriver, which is now going to generate liquid Fortron that I need for world engine crafting. So keeping the checklist going, I am going to need to work on a little bit of AE2. I'll need some more Fluix dust, easy enough, especially since Fluix crystals are printable. Yay! Wait, so does Fluix dust? It's gonna be a while until I learn this system and actually check if things are printable first. But my lack of wool and sheep is a bit of a problem, until I remembered about a string chicken. To be honest, chickens kinda make all other resource generators a little bit pointless. That is everything for 8 quantum rings and a quantum link chamber. The Lightbender's quest is complete. And of course I can add those to the world engine. Let's keep that momentum going. I'll start in the deep dark and harvest some skulk. I can use it to upgrade my blaze goo into void goo. That will convert diamond blocks into celestigem ore. I can use that to make a celestigem ring, and just like that, super easy creative flight. And it's limitless, so things are about to get even easier. Oh, and I forgot to add the Fortron infused blocks to the world engine. Well, now I've done that, and now I can finally craft an ME controller. I have made the decision to keep refined storage working in this part of the base. The regulator upgrades are just too simple to replace. Oh, so it looks like all of the components can be printed, so that is even easier AE2 storage. However, before I set this up, I really need to look into a reliable source of power. I think I've got it. First, I've worked out how to properly supply rotation to the world engine, an electric motor. You literally just supply power and it spins. As for source, you can simply connect it to a jar with a Dominion wand. Anyways, using heat, I was able to craft an energizing orb, which has now been made even easier to automate with refined storage too. One simple button, lock until the machine is empty, means no more comparators and no more redstone. That made getting a blazing reactor really quite easy. Now for some reason water doesn't work in them, but Fortron does, and it is actually easier to generate than water. That is an easy 4000 RF per tick. Well, 8,000 because I went and made 2 of them. I also made the Ender cell for wireless power transfer. It's going to keep me going until I get into Flux networks. The last thing I did was set up an energy condenser to start producing dark matter. I forgot to mention that the reason that I've only got blazing is I am missing the advanced machine upgrade block for higher tiers. So that is what I'm going to work towards next in the quests. I'll need a nitro cell, which needs 1 nether star. That means it's wither time! I place the skulls. I fight the skulls. I win a star. I teach the star. I print the stars. And auto-craft the nitro crystals. This is gonna take a minute. Nitro cell complete. Yay, mega bulk storage component. It's like a storage drawer that stores an infinite amount of one item. I don't think that's quite useful here. And now, the Ender Chicken. Cue the dramatic music. Up next, I am going to convert some skystone blocks into Kiwi blocks, which I will use to make an extractor. I can then extract from the dragon egg I got from the Ender Chicken to automatically start generating more dragon eggs. I'll use these to make Enderium blocks, and this is probably the most annoying craft in the whole mod pack. I'll need nearly a bucket of molten ender, which I could get from a fluid cow if a cow ever spawns, but for now, I must melt my ender pearls. It's slow, but it means I can progress now rather than waiting for a cow. That's 8, that's 16. A dragon head as a reward, which is actually kind of useful. I'll use up a dragon's breath later. I can add that Enderium to the world engine. And now I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and I'm going to see if I can work out how to make Autocrafting machines. Let me see what I can hobble together. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing with this, and that's actually a good thing. It's quite refreshing. Real quick, Over here, I have got the Actually Additions Empowerer. The only thing you need to know about making this work is you need a 2-block gap for the display stands. Okay, so this is the assembler. This is a centrifuge, which I use to turn ender dust into enderic compound. And lastly, I have a laser breaking amethysts to make fluxite. If you're struggling with making the budding amethyst like I was, my clue is to use the molecular metamorpher from earlier. Anywho, processing units, fluxite, and platinum ingots, and that's some flux gates. Next, I'll need some empowered diamante crystals, easy enough, craft it into a block, and that's another task complete. So now it's gonna start moving me through some industrial foregoing with the dissolution chamber and pink slime. Yay, fun. I've already got a mob farm, I just need to swap it over to using the mob laughter factory. Honestly, this really should be a piece of cake. Yep, piece of cake. And that's pretty much automated the dissolution chambers. Thanks to a system collapse video, I was able to work out how to put cows in jars, so I now have a latex cow. Very nice. And I know I have AE2 to set up, so why am I still using refined storage? Well, I am waiting on a machine to do its thing. You're gonna see soon enough, and I can finally go ahead and craft up 8 advanced world engine blocks, and 8 more. Oh cool, a 10-pad reward. That actually might come in handy. But over at the Catalyst, I can finish off his quest line and apply the advanced machine upgrades to my world engine. This of course means that I can now go for a niotic reactor if I need it. For now, I can progress guidance to the next stage, and I must meet the Wormrite, which is Draconic Evolution, the Ancient, which I'm not so sure about, and the Twilight, which is Twilight Forest. That was quite a big checkpoint, so let me see if the next one is a bit easier. To reach my next checkpoint, I need to become less squishy, defeat the Twilight Forest bosses, defeat the Leviathan, and move into a new permanent base location and set up AE2. Yeah, okay, that's a lot. I'd best get started. To be less squishy, I need some better armor. I could try Apotheosis, but there's something I have never done before. Just dire things, endgame armor and weapons. I just need to spend some time now crafting all of the upgrades and applying each one with a smithing table. And after a whole lot of crafting, I am hoping this is enough. I have arrived at the vault of the first Twilight Forest boss. After dealing with some locals, I moved some blocks around to make a picture. And then it was time to fight the boss. You just throw his bolts back at him like a gassed fireball. Once the shield is down, you tap 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 until he's gone. The next vault is a Yeti. It's a really simple fight. Just remember to collect the reward in the center when you're done. Vault 3 is the Hydra. Each one of these statues is looking at a different statue. That is the passcode, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. Unfortunately, no Hydra in this mod pack, so you just fight these 3 fellas here. The next vault is the Snow Queen. I hit a crab so he almost lands on the red wool, and then he just moves there himself. I'm not sure that they're supposed to have their AI enabled. Way too easy. But then I shooty the Snow Queen, and that is the vault complete. The next vault is a questionnaire, but I shall not be spoiling the answers for you. Once through, you fight some Phantom Knights, and that is the vault complete. I can talk to the Twilight Echo and complete his questline and build the Twilight upgrade. No cutscene this time. While I'm in the bossing mood, I'm gonna dance on this dance floor to unlock the Ignis boss. It's quite simple really, you just stay in the orange to make the dance bar progress. Hello there you fiery fella. I'll be honest, this fight was really fun. I am not really one for PvE much, but I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, okay, so granted I was cheesing the fight with creative flight. One day, my friends. Maybe in the next RPG mod pack. Only 3 Ignitium as a reward. Hopefully that's enough. Next I am gonna craft the Spirit Altar from Malum. I apparently need to use this crude scythe to gather souls from mobs. It does like 2 damage, so this is gonna take a minute. After a ton of arguing with the altar, I can craft up some soul stained steel. Those, plus an Ignitium ingot, will let me craft up 12 spirit blocks, completing the infernal quest line and build the spirit block upgrade. Nice. I realize that I am sort of flying through things at the moment, but sometimes that is just the way the mid-game is. You've got to eat your dinner before you get dessert. Keeping that momentum going, I'm going to head through the ancient city portal. In here, I am going to fight some named mobs, and it helps if you remember to actually equip the soul cage. But as I slay, it is going to be filled up with souls. Once filled, back in the starter room, I can head up the elevator that I definitely noticed straight away. I'll use the soul cage on the cursed tombstone. Oh, that's really pretty. And I get to fight my next Cataclysm boss. Whoa, he grabs hold of you and slams you to the ground. That's awesome. He can also fly. That was a 9-minute fight and one near-death experience. I loved it. 4 Cursium ingots. Now I've got to work out the crafting chain for liquid darkness. I am gonna need 2 vats. I'll buy a torch flower seed and get that growing. They'll head into vat number 1 with some glowstone and water to make liquid sunshine. That goes into vat 2 with obsidian dust and amethyst shards, and that is my liquid darkness. Now I just need to wait for 20 buckets to generate. Honestly, that was really easy. That goes into the world engine with some other Ender IO bits, and that makes euphonium. 2 crafts once again, 16 blocks in total. That is the Ancient's questline complete and another upgrade for the world engine. But my friends, the machine is finished and I am pretty close to moving into my new base and setting up applied Energistics. Just down this corridor past my replication setup, I have got a green glass road. I have used the RF Tools Builder to build a massive shaped area for me to build my new base in. It's about 160 blocks in each direction, and I am definitely certain that's going to be big enough. Before I do that though, this seems like the perfect location to fight the Corralsus boss Gateway Pearl. Amethyst Crab, why you gotta be so mean? Whoopsies. No way I did that with 1 second left on the clock. Hello, Corralsus. Wow, like 15 arrows and it's done. But that fella drops a coral chunk, which I needed to craft an abyssal sacrifice. Now I've dug all the way out to the ocean ring, because I'm about to use that abyssal sacrifice to summon the Leviathan. Here we go. Now I'm not sure if this is a good idea, but I'm trying to use my bow underwater. I don't really want to get within melee range. Oh no, that sounds bad. God blimey, this is tough. Disco mode, and the other locals are now helping to fight. Yay! 1 abyssal egg. Nice. And now it looks like I need to go and learn some more Autocrafting with the Atomic Forge. I'll be right back. I'm back. Autocrafting is cool, but it's got a bit of a learning curve, and I'm not exactly qualified enough yet to explain it, but I'm going to do my best, and it's probably not going to make much sense. It starts with a refinery with 2 tanks on top. That's important because it allowed me to turn lava into liquid sulfuric acid, which is kind of useless I think, but Sheol fire and strange matter, which is what I wanted. In a centrifuge with a fluid add-on, it can be crafted with a dubious container into an unholy intelligence. It can then be forged into a Heisenberg compensator, which will then forge with an overcharged crystal into a promethium. I'll craft that along with the abyssal egg and a few other bits into 2 resonant void. I can complete the Wormrite chapter and of course add the resonant void upgrade to the world engine. Again, no cutscene, but it's only 2 blocks. I don't blame them. Not only that, at guidance I can now progress to tier 5, which brings me back to the Wormrite, and I am tasked with making a Chronon Resonator. Sheol fire I have. It looks like all I'm possibly missing is the Entro crystals. So it needs extended AE. I think I should probably move my home. This is gonna take a little while. No replay this time, just a jump cut so we can get right back to work. In 3, 2, 1... It's all gone. Well, everything worth taking over is gone. I've now got everything set up at the new location, plus a few extra bits as you can see. I think I'll start with replication. It's much the same as before, but a whole bunch more printers. Combining that with applied Energistics and this replication bridge is actually incredible. It means that I can print things from within AE2. It's very good. Continuing on with AE2, I of course needed the crafting towers. Since everything is printable, it really wasn't difficult. I've also got 1.4 million storage from what I would guess would be a quest reward. Following on from that, there are the crafters. The absolute most basic design, it's so simple once you know how. I have upgraded my system for making dark matter, since going forward I think I am going to be printing a whole lot of items, so fast matter is imperative. I do need to add void barrels at some point though, as I'm going to run out of my most used matters, which I think at the moment is precious. Auratech. What I worked out is the entire refinery, for example, acts as one block, so you can input from anywhere. It turned out to be very handy. What it doesn't do is auto export, so item and fluid pipes are needed for that. But once you know that, everything else ends up being pretty simple since it follows the same principles. Just remember the forge can only be powered by a laser. But now I guess I should address the elephant in this room. You'll notice behind me I installed a nuclear reactor. Deep in my soul, way down in there, I know FTB are gonna force me to make antimatter pellets. They always do. For no reason. The sooner I start making fissile fuel, the better my life will be. So that is what the majority of these machines here are doing. Slowly building up my fissile fuel stockpile. All sent to the isotopic centrifuge and into an ultimate tank. I'm gonna need a lot of full tanks. As for the refinery, I have not gone for the maximum size because I know deep down in my heart that supplying water is going to be a problem. And because I don't really want to babysit it, I'm going to make all of my fissile fuel first and then run it in one big AFK session. If I can get 10 buckets of antimatter, I can make an antimatter chicken. But I've crunched the numbers. I am going to need more than 100,000 buckets of fissile fuel. That is over 100 million millibuckets for dramatic effect. Yeah. For power, I am now running 4 power reactors, trying to get them all to reach nitro. Now if I head over to the elevator, you can see my super duper expert cable management. The best news that this mod pack has to offer is that by default all channels are quadrupled. I like that change. Lastly, I learned how to use the quantum rings, and it was quite simple really. The first one is giving me access to my system anywhere in the world. The second one, well, that's connected here to my world engine. That means I can automate things now with this pattern provider. Just remember to tell the world engine to auto export back into the provider. So far I have got patterns for time steel, a chronon resonator, a chronotron star, Voltron infused ingots, and a nitro reactor. There is going to be dozens more, I just know it. Again, I do suggest enabling blocking mode since it very easily can get clogged up. As for generating source, it is as simple as using a fluid source link and giving it a tank of lava. Right, there is one more reactor to upgrade and I can move on with some progression. Hello there system, could I please have 1 chronon resonator? Oh, time crystals, I forgot about that one. Also the recipe for chronon glass. So time crystals were the entro crystals. Also void flame fuel, which I made earlier from putting water and a couple of items around the just dire goo. Okay, so I have no idea what happened to the clip, but the entro crystals are made from the seed and some crafting. Okay, let's try that again. 1 expensive chronon resonator please. That is a success, and that is quest complete. Now I will talk to the Wormrite and complete their quest for good. But now that you're all caught up, I have got many more recipes to go and teach, more reactors to make, and probably boost my fissile fuel production again. And with a checkpoint reached, it'll be time to see what is next. To reach my next checkpoint, I'm going to need to capture a wither and farm its gases, craft a ton of awakened draconium, capture an ender chicken to farm its gases, build a particle accelerator, create antimatter, and start making some singularities. Some may say this is excessive, so so I'd better get started. So, in the break, I went to the shop and I bought the largest compact machine available. I am going to be needing this very soon. First, I am going to activate the Chronon generator and create a portal to the unknown. I can meet the Echo of Radiance, which wants me to reach late game Draconic Evolution. Oh, and Antimatter 2 with late game Auratech. And then there's the Echo of Chaos, which is also end game Draconic Evolution. Fun! So, do I want to do Draconic Evolution, or do I want to do Draconic Evolution and Auratech? Choices. Matter value, and matter value. I am just doing this craft for the sake of doing the craft. It feels pointless. 378 blocks of awakened draconium. Okay, so that's a bit of an unnecessary time sink, just to make the mod pack longer. 786 draconium blocks, they have a matter value. 32 energy core stabilizers. Matter value. What even is the point if it's just gonna be me AFKing at printers? I know I'm gonna be a terrible YouTuber now. I could be farming a few minutes worth of content from this, but just this once, I am going to choose to skip. Long story, very short. You set up fusion crafting, supply power, and do crafts. Okay, so I made it to the Wyvern injectors. While waiting, I popped down the compact machine, and inside I have been harvesting ether gas from a wither. I don't need him anymore, so I'm just going to remove him with a laughter factory with no fuss. I'll move the gas into a fluid drawer for auto crafting, and that is everything to craft up my first dragon heart. It does need fiery blood, which can only be gathered from the Hydra data model reward. But the weirdest part of it all, as you may have noticed, I've got a cooking pot right here. To make a life stone, you need a soul stone. Easy enough. And a body stone. That's made in a cooking pot, with red matter, bacon, and a hamburger. This recipe is completely random and super out of place. I do not understand it. But whatever, it's done. Now I can just print as many as I need. I need a lot. Only 15 at the moment, but that is a start. So now it's a bit of a cat and mouse game. I gotta wait for matter, print more hearts, and make more awakened draconium. And repeat. And repeat. And repeat. And repeat. Fun. The crafts are complete. So I'll talk to Chaos and complete their questline. That'll let me build the Awakened Core upgrade. Back over at the Ancient Echo, I can buy the Watch of Flowing Time. Probably lots of them soon enough. I'll use one over at the Power Reactors to accelerate those, making sure the hitbox does not reach the fission reactor. I have a feeling that would be bad. Speaking of that, Mekanism. Why do you have leftover sulfuric acid in this machine? It's 100 to 1000. It should not have leftovers. The pattern is perfect. Please fix. Also, it feels like I am chasing ghosts here. These machines should be running full time. I guess I need to debug it once again. Alright, time to capture an ender chicken. Also, I just want to mention the fissile fuel stopped because an exporter broke. Breaking and replacing fixed it. Weird. So the idea is that I use a dislocator where I want that chicken to land, right on top of this stasis chamber. I then summon the ender chicken and instantly use the dislocator to teleport him to that stasis chamber. Success! It didn't work. He's too low. After a ton of spawns, I got it working. And I'm not happy about it. Every time a machine activates, he takes damage. More machines does more damage, but does not give more gas. So running only one machine, I am getting 1 millibucket of molten chaos every 40 seconds. An artificial time waster right now. I am hoping that more chickens will allow me to use more machines. I mean, he does regenerate, but it's very slow. I'll need 100 millibuckets of molten chaos to make a tiny chaos fragment. All currently 66 minutes of chicken damage each. There is a chaos chicken, but that is a long way away at this speed. 324 tiny fragments, each at 100 millibuckets of chaos, or 360 hours of one chicken, one machine. So I am gonna need to tinker with it, because this cannot be the right answer. This is a particle accelerator. It's unreliable, scary, and destructive. If I throw in a fluxite and a uranium dust, Once it hits 2500 speed, it should trigger a collision. 1 plutonium dust. If I try to do that again, it won't activate, and I quickly need to break this guide here before it destroys my base. I have had to rebuild my Autocrafting and AE2 crafters far too many times before I worked out that trick. It is used to make plutonium pellets, which I will use to make the neutron collector because of course, Avaritia is in the mod pack. I mean, of course it is, what do you expect? I have set up a productive metalwork smeltery for making chaos shards. Multiple chickens and multiple machines does bring in a more reasonable amount of molten chaos. I'll use some of the shards to upgrade a draconium chicken into an awakened draconium chicken. That way I don't need to wait on printers and matter anymore. Over here, I believe I am at the point where I have 100,000 buckets of fissile fuel. I'm now just waiting on the extras I need for making the SPS. But anyway, let's get that chicken all set up, give it a drawer to export to, and it's good to go. Though to save on the cost of seeds, I'm actually gonna level him up first. That way he generates more resources per seed. Now using a multi-block printer, I can place down everything for a neutron activator. This is the only way that I can make polonium, since there's not exactly a sun in here. 10 millibuckets of nuclear waste gives 2 millibuckets of polonium. It's going to need a neutron pile to work, which is this awful and slow and terrible machine over here. Oh great. It consumes the neutron piles, just what I wanted to see. But technically, I have polonium being made. At least plutonium is a default recipe. I guess I now need to teach the recipe for the SPS, work out how many blocks I need, and make the bare minimum of pellets that I'm gonna need. Mekanism. Every developer's favorite late game extender. The mod pack would be so much better without this big, boring hurdle. I guess I'll try and speed it all up once again. I'll see you soon. I'm having a meltdown. Water, as always, is impossible. Normally, we sink. Here, the water isn't infinite. Fine, okay, we have Project E, so a dynamic tank with an Evertide amulet. Now you are being limited by whatever pipes you have available to you to move that water. Okay, so Pipe's ultimate pipe upgrade. Oh, 10 buckets per tick. Nerfed. Mekanism does 32 buckets per tick. So you end up in a situation where you spend an hour extracting from 1,000,000 tank valves. Alright, fine. Okay, I have got AE2 and infinite water discs. So why not just tell the system that the reactor, it should be its default water storage spot? I mean, applied Energistics is fast, right? Wrong. If I just disconnect all of the water sources, with only a 100 millibucket burn rate, my water basically disappears. This is not fast water and I have got 2 of them. With everything working together, the maximum that I am able to burn is 100 millibuckets per tick. I've done something wrong, haven't I? And I'm definitely sure you're going to explain it to me in the comments for the next time that I have Antimatter to do. But anyway, I have finished setting up the rest over here. First I made the plutonium, enough to make the SPS and no more. Every casing needs 1 plutonium and 4 polonium pellets. I needed 40 casings plus ports and a supercharged coils. So I spent a lot of time playing Minecraft while not actually playing Minecraft. Long enough to make the SPS. It is now very slowly turning 1 bucket of polonium into 1 millibucket of antimatter, and I believe I'm going to need 11 antimatter pellets in total, so this is going to be fun. I get to now go not play Minecraft again for a day or 2 while this processes. The first time you ever play through Mekanism, it's incredible. You feel so clever and so smart. The 20th time you play through Mekanism, you really start to judge developers who include it in default mode. The best Mekanism that I ever saw was in Liminal Industries. Go and check out my video sometime and see how it really should be done. Okay, it's done. I can now go back to being a happy, positive hobble all over again and back to enjoying Minecraft. I have made sure to overproduce my fissile fuel though, just in case of any surprises. I have got 11 antimatter pellets. This should be enough for what I want to do. One of them goes through the particle accelerator to make a black hole. I'll use that to make a void container, which completes the Radiance questline. That can then be added to the world engine, which lets me talk to the Infinity Echo. My smile just turned to a frown. I can request the system makes me a neutronium chicken. That's gonna help a little bit. Well, 2 of them so I can breed them together to make more of them. I'll send one of them through the antiprotonic nucleosynthesizer with the 10 other antimatter nuggets to make an antimatter chicken. Level them up, and I now have infinite. It was a lot of AFK to get here, and it really didn't need to be this slow. Just make it 1 antimatter or something, please. But now, singularities. At least FDB took a brief moment to be kind, and they only need around 50 to 200 of a resource to make. I will take that win. So this is the recipe for just 1 out of 1 or 2 stacks of infinity ingots I need. This feels absolutely insane. For some reason, these replicators don't run continuously. There is always a big delay between prints. I don't know why. It's very weird. To be fair, I should now go and make chickens for some of these things to ease up the struggling replicators. I also think that I need more than 1 alloy smelter. It's definitely struggling. These are the singularities I need right now, but there is more coming up soon. You can press them into an infinity singularity, then you can press them again, this time with Ender's Pearls, which of course is yet another world engine craft. That makes the infinity catalyst, and oh dear, would you look at that? You need multiple to make the infinity gear. Each piece also needs 16 infinity ingots, which would you believe needs 8 infinity catalysts each. Remember, this was just the craft for 1 infinity ingot, the one that I just had a big cry and laugh about. Oh, and to complete the quest, I need to hand in 18 of the ingots, which is a somewhat expensive craft, I think. But I sort of expected this endgame a little bit. What's kind of scaring me though, is there is still 1 more chapter to go before I am done. That is at least a checkpoint reached. To reach my next checkpoint, I need to scale up my production of everything, beat Stoneblock 4 according to FTB, reach tier 6 ascension, and craft the infinity armor and sword. The things we do for love, eh? Let's get it done. I sort of went on a spending spree and bought all of the Watches of Flowing Time that I could. I have expanded replication once again, adding in even more printers and matter storage. But same issue again, the requests don't happen fast enough. Ah well, I have installed a ton of watches on my dark matter, I have had to reset up a little bit of create for some superheating, and I just bought the creative blaze cake for an easy life. It's the Karma Knight solution, which is gonna go in the world engine to make infinity gear. And I was right about needing more alloy smelters, since the Ender IO alloys cannot be printed. Since none of these are active though, it means that it is no longer my bottleneck. Yay! Fluxite was slow, so I doubled up. And I am not sure if this watch is helping. I mean, it can't hurt though, right? I've then got a watch on these reaction chambers, since this is where I make the polymorphic juice and the time fluid. To help with crafting and printing, I have added a bunch more chickens for the more expensive crafts, like diamonds and emeralds. Now for that Carmite solution I mentioned earlier, I had to set up another simulation chamber, this time for a Yeargast, which is another quest reward. That gives me Carmite gems. I can export that to the superheater and into a fluid drawer for system access. So I'll grab 2 infinity blocks and 2 reactor neutron reflectors and finish that quest. Oh my goodness, what are the rewards? I seem to have gotten a bit of everything. Is that supposed to happen? Nothing really of much use to me anymore, so I haven't really gained an advantage from that. But at last, I can complete the Echo of Infinity questline, and now the fun can begin. Well, after building the world engine upgrade, Echo of Guidance 100% complete as well. You have now completed Stoneblock 4. Please, don't give me that weak sauce. I still need to make the infinity armor and weapons, and now I have unlocked tier 6 ascension, which is gonna have me make one of nearly every creative item, like the energy cube. But it all starts with the infinity armor system. Could I please request an infinity sword? While that crafts, I want to show off the Emmy requester. I used it to force auto-crafting for some of the more highly requested items just to get them up to a certain number. Overall, it will mean less downtime waiting. The sword is crafting, but one thing I learned is that you need to add in some Draconic Evolution cores to the world engine to increase the internal power buffer, otherwise the 50 million FE crafts won't be able to start. One Sword of the Cosmos, quest complete. This sword can one-hit anything, even if it has like 1 million health. It's a bit broken. I'm gonna go ahead and request the armor be made, and it can just be ready when it's ready. I'm not in a hurry now. I think I'm gonna go play outside. I'll see you when it's done. Like now, it is done. And now, it's on to Ascension. Note, all quests in this chapter must be completed using a task screen. First, let me show you all of these patterns. This is hands down a full-on recipe teaching simulator. No questions asked. But the task screen, I don't like it. You'll see why. Inside the machine, you need to select a specific task that you want to complete, like 16 Fortron-infused singularities. You then pipe those in. You then go and search for the next task, and so on. It is very user-unfriendly. The first quest I want to complete is the Creative Memory Chip. 2048 replication ingots. Now I need to find the next task in that quest, which I guess is copper singularities. When you make the singularity patterns, remember to change the quantity. The system doesn't understand Avaritia. Send in that task, then I go and search for the quest, find the task I haven't done, and go and fetch that item. Search, find, submit. Search, find, submit. Until you complete 1 out of 15 quests. But now, with the Creative Memory Chip, I have access to every single recipe that uses matter without first having to learn that item, like green terracotta, which is an interesting choice from the developers. I can now just use this to print most of the things for the rest of the tasks, and those optional quests. That is why I am going to value your time as a viewer, and I'm not going to make you sit through every single craft, every single task submit. Instead, I have some bad news. For me, I need an ultimate induction coil, just one of them. That means for one single task, I need to go and set up Mekanism brine production and the thermal evaporation plants. And also, for some reason, I need to go now and make all of the Ars Nouveau essences, despite them never being needed up until now in the mod pack. It's very sad, but Hobble pushes on. I'm talking in third person now. It's very scary times. Checkpoint time. In order to reach my final checkpoint, I need to finish Tier 6 Ascension Tier 1, 2 and 3. I need to defeat a myriad of bosses, and I need to finish every single optional quest. It's hyper-focus time. Let's go. I will start with Ignis, since I need more of his ingots. One hit and defeated. And now I need to wait 30 minutes before I can fight the next one for some more ingots. It cannot be cheesed. I can at least save the location in my tempad so I don't need to dance and find his room again. As an act of rebellion, I made the smallest thermal tanks possible. I finished the creative chronometer and the infinite power card. And skip. Here's me making a start on the essences. Skip. I'm sorry. This is just silly and it proves nothing about a player's ability. It just makes it so you can't finish the pack in a reasonable amount of time. Essences are made, and I'll submit each of them one at a time to the task screen. Creative Source Jar, complete. Ascension Tier 2, Transcendent. I now need a Creative Refined Storage Controller and a Creative Energy Cell. A Creative Spellbook, which needs 100 marks of the Mastery, for some reason. Then I will hit Tier 6 Ascension, Ascension Tier 3. They even managed to squeeze in one more Draconic craft. Fair play to them. Oh, I missed the Creative Disk interface and the wireless grid. For the Refined Storage Controller, I am going to need an infinite storage part, and it's got a matter value. Everything pretty much either has a matter value or a very annoying side quest to go and do, even the super dense energy cell. Would it be fun to watch me print an item and submit an item over and over? Let me know in the comments so I know for future videos. For this one though, I choose skip. As you can probably tell, I am at that point in a corporate mod pack where I'm just kind of doing the bare minimum to survive and progress. It's kind of weird thinking about a mod pack as being corporate though, but with 3 ads in the main menu, having my data being pseudo-anonymously tracked, and selling mod pack specific merch, I kind of feel like it sort of fits. Maybe, but maybe I am done with these types of mod packs, as I am definitely not the target audience. This has been an experience. A really fun early game. Those brushing villagers were really cool. The mid game and the end game though, it leaves much to be desired. Okay, I believe this should be everything to finish off Ascension before I go and do the optional quests, of which I'm not going to complain because it's optional. It's just my thing. So, one final push at this task screen, and I am free to go and enjoy myself again, going above and beyond when it is totally unnecessary. It's a me thing, where I like to fully 100% a mod pack, much to my own micro-crafting demise. My friends, that is 100% of the Stoneblock 4 story completed, plus Ascension Tier 1, 2 and 3. God of the World, if you say so buddy. 100,000 coins reward. That might actually come in handy to be fair. Now I get to go off and complete these optional quests, which sort of act as a tutorial for newer players, which I kind of like. They make modded Minecraft much more accessible, even if some of them are a little bit bizarre. What isn't so great is having someone build an arc furnace and never need them to use the arc furnace. The modular force field system mod is included for Fortron, but I'm going to complete everything else associated with it anyway. There is also a lot of magic mods in what I thought was going to be a tech mod pack. Most unusual. So I'm going to take a quick break, and then together, you and we are going to craft a whole bunch of items. Oh, I hope you are ready. But we'll start with a frequency card, speed module, capacity module, a Fortron capacitor, a biometric identifier, an identification card. I mean, this entire mod is printable, so it's pointless. An interdiction matrix, a void upgrade, a destructor from refined storage, a material stonework factory, a basic laser. Did you enjoy that? From the light bender I need to buy the entangled binder, from the machinist I need a coffee maker, a disenchantment mycelial generator, a culinary mycelial generator, slimy mycelial generator, and now I need to find a way to farm some apotheosis gear. All I am missing is some arcane sands. For that, you need to ascend in apotheosis by completing gateway pearls. Then you just fight the mobs from the gateway of the sunlit ascent. I mean, it kind of feels unfair to use the one-hit sword for this, but I've got it, so I may as well use it. You throw the loot into the salvaging table, and that is the arcane sands. That's the reforging table, that's quest and chapter complete. If I hold a 1k ME item storage cell, that is the storage chapter completed, and now the bosses. Okay, so instant mining with the World Breaker is incredibly satisfying, especially with super speed. Okay, that door is incredible. Behold Maledictus. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I thought that was a fantastic subversion of the expectations with such a large build-up and then him being a one-tap. Such awesome animations, but this is not the mod pack for them. Oh wow, this is a cool one. Maybe this one won't be so silly. Hey buddy. Oh dear. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so I was actually having a lot of fun because of just how silly it was. One arc furnace, one crusher, and finish. Take a bow. The mod pack is complete. If you made it this far, You are the real genius here. As for my review, I would say the mod pack is 30% enjoyable, 70% grind. And of that 70%, I would argue that half of it was there just to pad the playtime. Would I recommend anyone to play this mod pack? Well, sort of. If you want to learn some new mods, the tutorials aren't that bad. But I really don't suggest doing a real proper playthrough unless you have a lot of free time. But that's it for me today. This has been an experience, and not one I plan on repeating anytime soon. Feel free to leave some RPG or fun automation suggestions down in the comments, since I read and heart every single one of them. Do a subscribe, make a like, and tickle that share button. Now, shall we see if there were any bloopers? Well, until this axe runs about, I never in a million years. Back at the infuser, I'll throw coal and iron in. Since I've got all of my chunks going into a contracting drawer, I'll give it some power via this charged energy cube and a chronon vault. So I'm just gonna AFK here for a little bit because no time. The first one I will use to make some thermodynamic prime. Eventually you destroy the cores. I can add those chronotron glass to the cool engine. I can add those chronotron glass. I can add those oh yeah, and the glass checks just keep on blue. I'll make up some resonance engineering. I can craft up a coercion drive. I forgot to add those fortune infused blocks to the wheelchair. You can simply connect it to a jar with a dominion. Over here I have got the actually additions in power row. My goodness. Over here I have got the actually additions in power row. Why do I sound like a dog? Power row. And lastly I have a laser breaking amethysts to make flux. I've used the RF2 builder. I have built the RF tools builder. I have used the RF tools to fight the Coralsus. At least plutonium is a default. Well, at least, so a dynamic tank with an Evertide tablet. I have finished the creative chronometer.
Now it's time to dream away. Now it's time